See ya.
What a show-off. You're so reckless, you know that?
Persona 5 is the sixth installment in Atlus's long-running series. You're a high school student that moves to Tokyo, and you play through his normal school life, where he and his friends find out that they can travel into the hearts of cruel adults and make them have a change of heart. It is a turn-based RPG that is part dungeon crawler, social simulator, and time manager. It is definitely the best in the series and is perfect for new people to get into.
ありがとうございました。
噂くらい知ってるよね。鴨志田先生とのこと。
The story follows a young student that has been transferred to a new school in Tokyo after being charged with assault. This is considered your second chance. You move into the attic of a cafe in town owned by a family friend, where you live alone. Upon heading to school for your first day, you see a beautiful girl in school uniform hop into an older man's car. As a boy comes running up to you named Ryuji, he explains that the older man is a teacher at your new school, and that he's a dick and he thinks he runs the place. Both of you walk to school, but once you get to school it has been replaced by a castle. You are captured by the guards and are sent to the dungeon, where you were met by the teacher you saw earlier. He orders for both of you to be executed. You freak out when the guards grab you, and you awaken a power inside of you called your persona power, which is the spirit of your soul. You manage to kill the guards with your persona, and start running through the castle looking for a way out, where you find a cat that can talk locked in a cell. She explains that the castle is a manifestation of the teacher's heart, as he sees the school as his castle, and that you're in a place called the Metaverse. You set her free and escape the castle, where you return to the normal world, where you're both very confused. You investigate rumours of the teacher beating other students, which turn out to be true, so you head back to the Metaverse, and find out that if you steal the treasure from the castle, you will destroy the castle, and make the teacher have a change of heart, and make him confess for all the wrong that he has done. You start the Phantom Thieves, and vow to make evil adults confess for the bad things that they have done. You start with only a couple friends, but as you progress through the story, you meet lots of new people that have persona powers as well. They all have interesting backstories and are really fleshed out. Most of the story is told through talking segments with your friends, but the game also has in-game rendered and anime cutscenes. The game has 5 different endings, and takes about 100 hours to do one playthrough. The game has a mix of gameplay. When in dungeons, the game works as a turn-based RPG, where you use a mix of persona and melee attacks to defeat enemies. One new addition in this game is a gun that you can use to fire on enemies. There is an emphasis on stealth. Where in a dungeon there is a level of alert of the guards, so if you run out in front of the enemies it will raise the alert bar, which will make the enemies hunt you down. So the aim is to sneak around and ambush enemies with a cover system that lets you move closer. Sneaking up on your enemies also does bonus damage. The combat is very similar to the Pokemon games, where you have different personas that all have weaknesses and strengths, and the best plan of action is to play to the enemy's weaknesses. If you manage to hit all enemies with an attack that they're weak to in one round, you will be able to hold them up and bargain with them for some money, an item, or to use them as one of your personas. You always have 3 friends in your party, but unlike you, they can only have one persona power, so picking who you bring into a dungeon can be vital. The higher friendship level you are with a friend means they can do special attacks and also have follow-up hits to you. There are lots of different personas that you can get, and you can fuse them and make stronger ones that all work on a leveling system. It is easy to learn and is very fun. When you're not in dungeons, you are a high school student. You go to school 6 days a week and go to classes. You only have class once a day where the teacher might ask you questions about things that you've learned. Just like a high school student, you have to sit midterm and final term tests. Some of the questions can be a bit weird because they're the same as the Japanese version of the game, but someone that isn't Japanese wouldn't necessarily know the answer. But you can look the answers up online to make it easier on yourself. Everything outside the dungeons works on 5 stats that you can level up: knowledge, guts, kindness, charm, and proficiency. Doing well in school will level up your knowledge, or helping friends will level up your kindness, for example. When you finish school for the day, that's where the main social simulator and the time management comes in. After school, there are endless activities you can do to work towards your stats and friendship levels. In the afternoon, you can choose to hang out with your friends, go to the library, work a job, go to the movies, go to the doctor, or hop into a dungeon. Everything works towards something, and you'll find yourself planning out your days in your head. And at night you can do the same thing, choose another activity to do. Some activities you can only do in the afternoon or at night. You can do this most days apart from days that are crucial to the story. But you can't do everything straight out of the gate. If your stats aren't high enough, like your guts and your charm, you may not be able to talk to certain girls. Or if you don't have enough knowledge, students will talk about how dumb you are. You always have multiple options of what to do. Choosing to hang out with your friends will increase your friendship level with them, meaning that you'll get extra buffs for taking them into a dungeon. Or if they are a girl, you can get into a relationship with them. Once the Phantom Thieves find a target in the story, you have a certain amount of days that you need to finish the task in. Dungeons are quite large and you need to plan how you're going to take them on. So you may plan to go straight after school to the gun shop and buy weapons, and then go to your doctor that sells you under the table drugs for healing, and then go straight into the dungeon with your friends and make some progress. After that, make some picklocks in your room before sleeping, waking up the next day, working at your job to get some money before going to dinner with friends and studying, and hop back into the dungeon the next day. It's all up to you. All of this makes for a fantastic story that you really get invested in because you feel like they're your friends and it's your decisions for the buffs and everything that you have. The Tokyo of this game is great. The city is broken up into little hubs that you make your way through by the subway system. There are a mix of areas, some having shops, restaurants, parks, and shopping malls. In these areas there are hangout spots that you can choose to hang out with friends, with all friends having their favourite places. The game introduces them slowly so you don't get overwhelmed with all the areas. I really like the random people that you walk past in the street, and how you can walk through them, as it would have been super annoying if you got bumped by them. All the dungeons are different in design, and all have unique puzzles, ranging from castles to banks. They all have safe rooms scattered around them that you can use as save points. They also have fast travel points, making it easy to explore places that you've been. All dungeons are quite long, and have boss fights at the end with unique mechanics. The game has a very stylish look, with even menus having a very interesting look to them. The game runs very well on a PlayStation 4, with short loading screens and a solid 30 FPS. The PlayStation 3 version does have longer loading screens. Considering they're through the whole game, it may get annoying to some people. The PS3 version also has screen tearing, which you can see through the whole game. The PlayStation 4 version is definitely the one to get. Atlus made a custom game engine for this one, and it works great, but this game was originally made for PlayStation 3, so it would have been nice to see better performance on the older console. The soundtrack is awesome, featuring 110 songs all up, which includes songs that have instrumental and normal versions, as well as variants for Rain. Some songs can get repetitive during combat, because you hear the same couple songs over and over again, but it does help that they are very catchy. But some people will find this more annoying than others. My favourite track is Beneath the Mask Rain version.
I'm a sharpshooter at post masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw.
The score, 9 out of 10. I would recommend this game to anyone, and is unlike anything that I've ever played before. Thanks for watching. You guys know the deal. If you're logged in and can be stuffed, like, comment, subscribe, and if not, have a nice day.